Emperor's Divide dissuades G2.
Yeah, G2 that play works under the assumption that Taunt sticks right there, but Kiana has the QSS to get out, and then a beautiful disengage from Yuta, and that's another TP being used in vain here for G2. This is a big moment, even though it looked like nothing and both teams got out. The block for the next 4 minutes here on that teleport from Kikis is huge.
It's also the indicator that the actual targets for that taunt now has run out. The cleanse is available for Nuke Duck, so the next time you make it, you're not going to get him. You can't get the squishy target of Hyun, and you don't want to taunt Cabochard all that much because it's not really going to do too much. Yeah, maybe you can take away the no stacks from the Dark Seal right now, and Kasing's going to have the ult to blast you back, so the actual valuable targets have started to completely fade away for Kikis. And honestly, I like this reaction from Vitality, punishing the Rammus pick in the draft.
And nobody gets connected by the Tempered Fate. The barrel actually knocks Vitality away. G2, another haphazard engage. It doesn't cost him yet. Cabochard takes a body slam to the face. Kikis rolls forward, face call. The trigger is pulled and Kasing decides to throw himself towards the Armadillo. Doesn't really find anything. Cabo temporarily stunned against the wall, but he's very beefy. Fury of the Sands is about to wear out. G2 reckon they want in. A full channel on the Monsoon will heal Vitality out, and we're in for a long one, boys. Giannan will not go down thanks to a good exhaust from Kasing. Perks' damage is reduced, but Vitality, they're on the retreat. Cabo plays whack-a-mole. The kick is good as Kikis is knocked away. There's a re-engage from Emperor, and he picks up the kill, and Vitality, they lose Cabo.
Yeah, while they lose Cabochard, I have to commend Kasing for an absolutely beautiful team fight. 3-man, full channel, Howling Gale, followed up by a good Monsoon to save it, instant exhaust on Perks while he's mid-dashes, and then another 4-man Howling Gale overall. We don't really see it, but that prevented a lot worse things from happening. But overall, G2 do a really good thing, dancing on the edge of that fight, just slowly poking away, not committing too far, really communicating with each other and winning that team fight and eventually getting the dragon.
And that was the difficulty for Vitality, is even though they had the heal coming from Kasing, they still were getting chunked again and again in that team fight. And that's G2's earlier game strength here, is able to output the damage in this fight.
Watch right here. Kiki is distracting the bottom line. First channel from Tornado is about to come out. It's going to hit 3 people right here overall, so that's really good. Kasing resets the fight here, but Vitality have to get out because their only real hard engage. Again, here's the exhaust coming onto Perks. Watch the other NATO coming out right now from Kasing, hitting 4 people overall. The only form of engage is a kick flank from Shook. That's the only hard CC they have. And unless they go for the horseshoe, Shurima shuffle, call it what you want, Vitality are very predictable in team fights. They only have damage.
I don't know how much I like this. G2, they're going to turn though.
They are going to turn. Shook has been taunted. He will go down. Tempered Fate is sidestepped by Vitality, but Emperor's feeling aggressive. Flashes forward, sidestepped, but it's not going to be enough for the barrel. Perks cleans up Nuke Duck, and G2 secure 2 kills.
Cabo teleported incredibly late and probably shouldn't have even teleported at all at that situation because he instantly cancelled it as Nuke Duck and Kasing got locked down. A good bait out by G2. They committed a little bit to the Baron and pulled all the way back to catch Shook.
Yeah, we can't taunt the Kalista. Q says we can't taunt the Azir. Let's just taunt the jungler, take the Baron. Top lane arrives too late, and unrelenting aggression with a wealth of crowd control effects. Body slam, taunts, cast over, like everything was available to G2, whereas Vitality relied purely on the kick and maybe the knockup from the Kalista ulti, and that's, you see the disparity here between these two compositions.
Well, this was the beginning of it again, as you said. Very easy to decide who to end up going on. Shook was the only one there as Nuke Duck even dashed himself out of that. Yes, there's a lot used by G2 when you look at ultimates, but they're getting so much from this. They know all they need to do is convert this into 1 or 2 kills and then just go for the Baron, go for the objective. And the Baron is going to undo a lot of what Vitality's composition offers. We talked about fast push, a lot of wave clear, all of its magic damage against this Baron buff up. Now all you've got is the Kalista to walk forward and clear the waves out, and she's going to die if that happens.
And it begs the question, how disrespectful was this Nasus pick overall? Because Cabochard, while looking fancy in the later stages of this game, has no impact because he's not built entirely for split push. He's like a hybrid. Yes, Nasus can split push, but it's too slow. The CZ one came out a little too late, and he hasn't had the pressure. And G2, they realize that, and before the split push pressure comes in, they just immediately start the Baron. They don't want that Baron. They just want you to face sick, eat the crowd control effects, and Vitality wasn't respecting that enough.
And you know, we talked a lot about how G2, if they started to fall behind or just didn't have the tempo on the fast aggression throughout the entire game, they weren't really thinking about what options were the best for them. seems like in this game, at least, G2, as you said, pulled that option out, and it was exactly what they needed, was go onto the Baron and see where that gets them. It's got them towers already just above 3,000 now on the Baron power play.
Yeah, now they break open this kind of team fight comp that Vitality wants to play, because their split push component is gone. That's his comp. I'll push a Baron minion wave, and G2 just use their pick comp to split push, and that's what you do with the Baron buff.
Well, we're gonna get control of the tower. Teleport's available as well. If Pickett wants to try the roll in. It's not been super successful yet, but they seem to find a target onto Shook if they can catch him. Emperor's gonna do a full channel on the Cole just to try force and zone Vitality away. But Vitality are doing relatively well upholding. Kikis goes in. He's found Emperor. Emperor's knocked up by Kasing, and they're shut down by Nukta.
Such a good kick from Shook. It found the needle, threaded it. Whatever he
threaded with a needle in the haystack. That's what you're looking for.
What I was trying to say was he found the one opening that was available in the bottom lane to get himself in for a kick on such a weak member now. Emperor's just going to die if he gets blasted forward, so screw the analogy. It's just a good kick by Shook.
Yeah, really good kick by Shook. The Howling Gale again follows up. You know, whenever you see a portal come down as Janna, you definitely want to send it that way. Because if you can knock him in right as they enter, screws up the momentum here. Perkz looking to push, has double distortion available. Wants to keep Doggy on a leash. Doggy's angry though.
And Perkz will try again.
Smack.
Yeah, that was ill-advised by Perkz. Fantastic play by Cabashar. He's like, you have three options. I will take a one away by standing on one distortion. You will die if you stay in front of the tower, and then I will just flash if you go to the last distortion. But that was just greedy by Perkz.
You got me with that one, Mitch. You got me, and just a Shook got Emperor there. Kick is just trying to peel, but it wasn't quite enough. Kick straight through. Wow, we're back into a fight.
We certainly are. A lot of rain stacks on Trick. We'll get a heal for HP to bring that one back up. He's going to back away. Now Kikis is in trouble. He's rolling to safety thanks to that power ball. And the Emperor's Divide reset the fight. G2 don't lose more, but they are once again defending. And Cabo's going to continue farming up in that bottom lane.
That's what you do when you get flanked as Rammus. Assume fetal position, but instead of cry, you just start rolling your way out of there.
Go the other way.
Yep.
Aha, the third flank. It's wide open. Wide open as an exit.
Kikis rolls his way out of there, and you see just the damage. It's rough right now for Vitality, because Kikis could just buy so much time. He just kept two members busy there. Honestly, I have no idea what happened before that. I assume red buff was that important that we needed a full-on fight in the jungle.
You always do. It's the way it goes at 33 minutes in. We've gone past G2's average game time.
Can we get a stat count here?
Ah, yeah.
Right.
Time.
As the Q has been cabo shot, over 380 stacks with his current AD, 400 plus 150, around 620 damage on a 2.8 second cooldown. That is a whole lot of damage every time he throws out that siphoning strike. Dragon number 2 going to be secured by G2. No real contest here from Vitality. No absolute control. G2 have bounced back with kills. Vitality, I think fair to say, controlled early in the mid game. But now it's somewhat reset, somewhat evened itself out.
Yeah, you talk about the siphoning strike. It's actually surprisingly low for an asset at this point in the game. So it just shows you that Cabalshar's focus has not been stacking up that Q. It's just been pushing the waves as fast as he can. He's obviously, hasn't been able to split push as much due to certain decisions at certain points in the game where Vitality lost the control, and G2 really good using their aggression here to catch people out, just like Cabashard here being cut out.
Let's take a look. The fight's going to continue. Cabashard is still alive. He was the one that was caught. Teleport is coming in from Kikis. Monsoon will keep everybody alive before it's interrupted by Tempered Fate. Cabashard, the man who was caught out, will drop as the second death of the fight. And G2, they're not done yet. They're looking to siege the base.
I mean, Kick is down. This could very well be a push almost for the game, I would say, if it weren't for those minions dying so quickly. So, lack of minion wave. If they had a Baron buff here, they could have went for it. But Rammus is tanky with a lot of armor, so it does look like G2 is at least considering to feel out what defense Vitality have against this push.
G2 are more than considering it. They're going for it. Nexus turret is being focused down.
Look at Chook. He's getting the wave right now. That is the prime objective. You don't want to fight them because that's so hard to to get those towers down without the armor reduction. So the little sneak away at the wave shows us exactly what we expected.
And it may just have saved G2 the Vitality the game there. G2 were looking to push on to end that. Nukeduck even died in that fight. It looked like with his cleanse and his flash available. I wonder whether the window for that was just about to come back up as the fight started. But Vitality now are looking to rush back out onto the map, get the wards down, and try for one desperation play on this Baron. 15 seconds until it spawns.
Yeah.
Cabo's going to teleport as well. They're putting all their eggs in this basket.
They have Ren to execute here and pretty tanky members, but seem to go for the play. G2 is in control though, because they fought in a choke point right there, playing against Bard with a little long dash in out. Gragas holding front line. Cabashark stood still and watched himself die. As much attention that he had as his pretty shoes there, he really couldn't do much in that situation overall. Because G2 is really identifying their strengths. Vitality need to fight in the open, wither somebody down, and get a flank from Shook. That's what they're looking for right now.
May get their opportunity as the pressure has rolled into lane. Kikis does not have teleport, but he seems to be going to deal with that very big lane down bottom. And G2 will then need to respond. Sundisk is thrown up in the middle lane by Nukeduck and Vitality. They peeled back to the Baron.
They're going to start right now because Rammus was obviously in a bot lane split pushing with no teleport. This gives Vitality the chance to get at least a lot of stacks in there.
Oh, good damage.
Already. Let's deny one entry from Perks. More stacks here from the Ren, but it's too little.
Focus here.
Tempered Fate is available for Hybrid. If he can find a target, Perks will throw down some damage.
The forced rotation here forced them out. At least threaten the fact that you could run down mid lane. This Vitality means for Vitality what they have to react. Get it passive, and now G2 is the one starting this Baron, and suddenly where Vitality was denying entry, G2 is the ones holding the gates here, and it's so hard to face into a Lobog, into a Bard.
It really, really is. Tempered Fate finds nobody. Baron's peeled away at about 50% HP, and Kikis is trying to distract people. Emperor's Divide will slow down the continued initiation, but Hjarnan is left for dead. Howling Gale comes up. Hjarnan picks up a kill. The bonk comes down from Caboshot as he takes out Perks. It's a 1-for-1. Both mid laners are down. Cabo's running out of mana. Hjarnan is running for his life. Does get taunted by Kikis, but will not be taken down. It's Vitality that have taken the lead in this fight. The magical journey is available for G2 to try peel away. Cabo's looking for more, but 2-for-1.
But you see how close these fights are. If at any point one of the 4 bindings that Hybrid threw out hit, it would have been over for Vitality. But they did such a good job juking, stepping, sidestepping some chains as well. But you see how closely they are threading the needle right now. Any misstep loses them the fight. Let's watch this again. It's 1 Q down for Hybrid. Chain goes on to Caboshot, doesn't matter. Ulti misses for Hybrid. Shook gets body time down, but no follow-up. Another Q here misses for Hybrid. Kasing will now get knocked in. They're constantly wary of their surroundings, and yeah, they're just barely missing all these plays.
That knockup though from Kasing once again turns his team fight around for Vitality, because Cabo gets the opportunity with Hjarnan to take out Perks, and that's the majority of a lot of the damage that Cabo's going to be worried about in this fight gone. Now it's just a case of turning around. You can't catch up with him because a lot of the crowd control is gone here, and you don't want to chase through the mystical journey. You're going to get bound and never manage to catch him.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to step into that portal. And then just the little things like Hjarnan walking away from that Rammus, refusing to try and even auto-attack hop, just doesn't want to get any return damage, doesn't want to get closed in. And then when he's sure he has a target down on lockdown, that's when he turns around.
Really heads up play, something we've seen a lot this game, Crepo. Take a look at the mini-map. There's a lot of minions down bottom. Shook is caught out. Shook is zoning out Hjarnan. The barrel knocks Hjarnan back, but there's not a lot of support from the rest of G2 because they were busy killing Caboshot. Kikis continues to pull the attention of Vitality as Cabo is focused out. And G2 once again punish Vitality.
Yeah, we see the difference. When that fight is in the open, then Vitality can sidestep some of these chains, bindings, ulti, and they have exit paths. But when you fight in the jungle, in these choke points, it becomes very easy for G2 to leave you with only bad decisions. Either you get hit, or you step into a part of the fight where you are completely zoned out, and G2 can turn on a lone member, and that's exactly why Vitality loses this fight.
Yeah, and Vitality is somewhat in panic mode right now. Cabo's like, well, my damage is fairly low. I can't wave clear reliably with my ult anymore once they got Baron. He's actually just picked up a Tiamat, but this was this enclosed fight once again. Yeah,
Hjarnan gets knocked in. He's a target, so he has to disengage out. Look, they're stuck on the left side. Kikis is only 3 members, while the remaining lineup here from Vitality deals with Caboshard. And obviously the start was a good engage to force Hjarnan on the defensive too. And in these small closed encounters, the usage of Portal is excellent too, because you can get over walls, but Vitality can't really get over. So it just gives you so many options if you are G2 Esports.
And G2 Esports are using those options. Dragon number 3 secured after their second Baron at 40 minutes into the game. That movement speed is just going to help them out even more for Kikis' Powerball roll in. I mean, he's still, you know, roughly almost 100 CS down, but thanks to all of the kills, the towers, the Baron gold, he is nigh unkillable at this point.
Yeah, he has like something like 460 plus armor when he has his W activated. That's absolutely insane.
It really, really is. Trick has access to the explosive cast, not going to use it yet. Kikis, Shook rather, jumps in to kick Trick backwards. Sundus comes down, but Shook loses his life for the trade. Emperor's Divide will take one back on Trick, but the front line of Vitality is gone. Kasing's trying to buy time with the Monsoon. Nukeduck will follow shortly. I feel like an exhaust was a second late, but it may not matter anyway. Hyanin gets a kill back onto Hybrid. It's now a 2v2. Emperor is going down to Hyanin. Hyanin gets a shutdown goal. He finds another one for the quadra kill.
Hyanin with some absolutely solid spacing, really good ultimate from Kasing, but more importantly, Perks put his head into the Azir wall. He just got knocked back when he distortioned in, and that completely lost the fight here. Kikis was flanking, but Hyanin really aware of his surroundings, and suddenly all expectations upside down. G2 surprisingly win that fight, or lose that fight rather.
And Emperor kind of went aggressive there, was not expecting the morph.
How much can they take?
They can take inhib at least. They're not going to push them around. 15 seconds here on Hybrid and Trick. It's not even worth. It's tempting to go for the any Nexus towers. They should be able to get this inhib in 10 seconds and then bail.
Yeah, they won't make the mistake that the Unicorns just made, which was basically win the game off a team fight and then pull all the way back to losing the game by overcommitting to Nexus turrets. Vitality still have a tough task ahead of them because of their composition, but certainly this fight is going to go a long way.
Just way better terrain to fight it. Open space, suddenly the Azir tower, Sunday's tower gets placed down. We see Should go in. This is a beautiful ulti from Hybrid. Defensive bar ultimate is very underused. We see Kik is doing such a good job in the background, but here, that dash in from Perks denies Nukeduck from dying. He was long enough to soak damage. Hybrid's flash is now used on Nukeduck. Look at the return damage from Hyanin. So it all boils down to that one play, just at the very edge of that Azir ultimate.
And here the shields on Hyanin. Yes, Emperor has a lot of damage. They both pop the QSS, but Hyanin, after the fact, has the more shield.
Oi.
Oh, whoa, and he doesn't anymore.
No, he does not. There's a 65-second death timer, and Vitality, despite having super minions in the middle lane, they now need to defend their Nexus turrets without one of their primary damage dealers. G2 will even out the inhibitor trade, and they're gonna set up for more.
No cleanse.
Trevis will help. No cleanse on Nukeduck, as you rightly point out, and Nukeduck is gonna be forced to the fountain. Cabo's trying to pull interference. The Nexus turret is down. This could be the push for G2 Esports. They're looking at the next Nexus turret. Emperor's gonna get poked away. They're continuing to pressure. The kick knocks up G2 as Kikis goes down. Trick is trying to pull people away. The tower still stands. They've run out of minions, and now Emperor is going toe-to-toe with Cabo. He started the defense, and it looks like he's gonna end it. Shook has gone in, but he's fighting on 3. The distortion back. Cabo's going down. Emperor's looking for the kill. The Nexus turret is finished. 10 seconds before Hyanin is back. Cabo goes down, and G2 Esports have done it. They've tied for first place. Tough game for both teams.
But the draft is, yeah, it is something else. That NAS is just because it leaves Vitality with just so little opportunity of engage and actually forcing fights. And if G2 is a team that dictates the pace of these fights and all you gotta do is disengage, it is bold to play that. I respect, the Kane, I respect the NAS's pick overall, but Cabochard, it feels he's not the player that should play it though, because he's such a good champion to excel 1v1 matchups, skill matchups, outplay. To see a matchup Cabochard versus Kikis with some of these simpler champions, I think that plays more into Kikis' favor.
I think that's fair to say. Cabo didn't have the lane pressure that he normally would have in the laning phase because the champion just didn't give him that as an option. Is this another one of these compositions though for Vitality that if the result of this game is different, like the Bard Zillion, which is like, man, nobody else is playing this, and it seems smart, but that one works, this one doesn't work for them.
It can, or it could have worked rather, because Cabochard was ahead, Vitality controlled the map at one point, they just allowed themselves to be picked off by some really good roams from G2 Esports that got them back into the game. And yes, obviously hindsight's 2020. If this would have worked, we would all praise Vitality for the genius pick that Charles brought out here after the Akali ban, now the Nasus pick. It's good that they tried though. It may cost them dearly in their race to the playoff bye, but it's good to develop these strategies for playoffs, because in best of series, if you win, say, a game 2 or 3 of a series with the Nasus, you will tilt your opponents, and suddenly they will be like, do we actually have to ban this champion? Can we play against it?
It adds so much complexity to the pick and ban in a best of series. And talking about that race for the first round bye, H2K Gaming are 12-3 at the top of the table. They are now equaled by G2 Esports. Both of them are 1-1.
Yeah.
Now with G2 tying up the head-to-head against Vitality, in the event of the scores being equal, boys, we're in for tiebreakers. I mean, we're looking more and more likely for the top of the table.
I love those ties, Trev. I love them. Tiebreaker day is always a fun
I love
day.
ties usually, except yours maybe.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with party tie, all right?
I can't actually, I only said that as a joke because I've won a tie and I love
Exactly,
every single second of it.
Right, I've had enough about the tie talk for now.